Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all had a great afternoon and evening. This is Robin with Back to My Roots Living. Have my cup of hot tea ready to go this morning. I saw that there's a storm coming in, and after speaking to Alexa, the winds are going to get up to 12 miles an hour, which is fine for most of the plants. But I do have a few, or actually 2 tomato plants that I just put in that are still laggy, which means that they're very small in the base and they could break in half. So what I'm going to end up doing is we're going to go out there in just a minute before the rain starts and the wind starts, and we're going to attach them to cages and a stake. That way we make sure that they make it through the weather. We're glad that the rain's coming. We need some more rain, of course. We don't want too much rain because then it makes it all muddy, but we do want the rain. As I said in a previous video, rain is really good. We're getting all the clean rain from the sky. And the peas that I planted and the corn that I planted, that'll help that come up a lot faster. Now, tomorrow is Saturday. I will be shooting a video this afternoon of the whole garden. If it stops raining, if it doesn't, then I'll shoot it tomorrow morning and I will get another video out for you tomorrow. This is just a short clip because I saw some people on Facebook that were worried about their plants and the high wind and the cold. Well, the cold is not coming, but the high wind is. And this is just a short clip to tell you what to do if there's high winds and you have some plants that you're worried about. Thank you guys, and I'll see you outside. Hi guys, so we are walking out here to my garden where I'm going to show you what to do with your tomato plants. The rest of the plants will be fine. It's just mostly the tomatoes haven't established themselves yet, so we have to get them in cages. As I told you, the smaller tomatoes are below the bed, so we're not going to worry about those. And those are these. See how small they are still? And they're still below the beds. Now if the winds pick up pretty big, then I might come out here and try to cover them up with a tarp, but for right now we're just going to leave them alone, and we're going to concentrate on the bigger tomatoes that are way above the bed. Okay, I ran out here real fast, and this is what we're going to do. One tomato's already staked. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And then the other one I'm going to walk you through on what to do. And like I said, sorry, my guts keep falling down. If your tomato's bigger, you're okay. But in high winds, you want everything that's above your garden bed, like tomatoes that are real flimsy. If they're real flimsy and they haven't got their huge stalk yet, you want to strap them down some way so the wind doesn't break them, because they will break off. So this is the first one. Wait a minute, let me show you. I'm sorry. This is what it looks like after it's all staked down. It's kind of hard. It's raining right now, so I'm trying to do this really fast. But as you can tell, it's all staked. So this is what we're going to do real quick. This is the tomato that we're going to stake. I'm going to put this right here so you can see what I'm doing. Just a second. Okay, so we're going to use this, which is a big triangle. It makes a really big tomato triangle, but we're going to make it really small where you can push it in or you can pull it out. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place. but it will work. And then we're going to use this little stake in order to stake the tomato to it. So here we go. Alright, so we're going to take the triangle, we're going to place it around the tomato, the little baby tomato. And we're going to make a small triangle with it. Try to be careful with the tomato because it's just a baby. It hasn't developed yet all the way where it's strong enough to hold up in high winds. And today we're going to have 12 miles an hour, which isn't much for us, but for a little tomato like this, it could break it in half. And I know people have been asking about it, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show y'all how to fix this, okay? So after you get the triangle around it, you gotta take this little stick, or you can either use a stick, or I bought these at Walmart. It's like a stake, but it's not very sturdy. We're just gonna go right beside the tomato. It's right here. Here's your stake, here's your stick, okay? So now what we're gonna do, we're going to attach the small tomato to this, just to make sure that in the winds, it's not gonna tear it up. And you're gonna attach it to the side of the tri-stake. So put it around the tomato. Try to go past the V's, that way it's a little bit more sturdier. And you don't want to tie it, you want to tie it tight enough where it stays around it, but not too tight where you break it. And all you're going to do is tie it off. And that's all you have to do in order to make sure they're okay. So that tomato should be just fine during these high winds. Again, here's the other one. Let me see if I can get it in the shot. This one was a little bit bigger, and I kind of staked it off, but I used the same technique. Now we have one more tomato. We have one more tomato that we need to do, but it's a lot bigger. And because it's bigger, I want to make sure that it's okay, that it makes it through the wind. Even though it's bigger, I still want to make sure it's all right. So we're going to stake it a different way. Okay, here's our last tomato that we're going to stake real fast because the rest of the plants are going to be just fine. It is really big, as you can tell. Hang on, get down here so you can see it. It's extremely big tomato. It's looking really good. As you can tell, the stalk is real thick, but you never chance it. I want to make sure it's okay, and I only have one left that I need to stake. So this is what we're going to use. You can get these at Home Depot or Lowe's. They come with these little clamps that you can move it around. They come with the poles. And the poles, you can move them any direction. So we're going to make a triangle out of this over the tomato plant. Alright, so this tomato is in the middle of some cabbage and an onion, and you don't want to harm your other plants. So what we're going to do, we are going to make a triangle around this plant, and it's not very tall right now, so we don't have to go very high on this. Make sure you pull all of your plant inside and be very careful because you can break the limbs. Stick it down. Like I said, make sure all your limbs are inside of this little triangle. And then you need to pull one of these across, wait a minute, one of these to make sure that it clamps. Because you're making a triangle. Push it down to the ground a little bit. Doesn't have to go really, really far. And now all you're going to do is move these little clamps across. But like I said, make sure that all your little limbs are inside, because you don't want to hurt your plant in any way. but you want to make sure that there's enough support in case the winds really do get tough, that it'll hold it. Now, this is enough support for this tomato plant. Oh, we're going to fix this one. This limb was way too low. And I actually want it inside, so we're going to undo these. We're going to make sure it's inside here tonight. That way it doesn't twist it, turn it, or whip it around. Because it will whip a tomato plant all in all kinds of directions and break it off. So you just make sure it's all bunched up inside here through the high winds, and then when you come out later, you can undo it. Okay. So we are good. I'm going to go inside right quick and finish up this video and get it out, since people I've been seeing that are worried about the winds that are coming. The frost is not going to freeze tonight, and you really don't worry about that unless it gets below like 55, 40. That's when you should worry about. And really the only thing you should worry about on those are your greens, like your lettuce, your kale, your chives, anything herbal I would worry about. But right now we're about to get a bunch of rain, which, like I told you before, is really good. So you don't want to cover it up unless you have to. And I wouldn't cover until the very end. This is Robin. And again, like, subscribe, share. I know I'm kind of new. I'm still trying to learn all this. And I'll see you soon, and God bless.